Thank you, Senator Shaheen. Yes, I do. Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Shaheen, I just want to comment first about Baltimore. We've been through a rough time in Baltimore. And our protests, which were important to find out or to insist that justice be done for Mr. Freddie Gray, who died in police custody. But then there were a group of children, teens, tweens, that really did some acting out and severe damage. What is that? But we're calm now. I mean, our city is calm. Children are back to school. And by the way, that awful day when the disruption occurred, 85,000 of our children went home peacefully, went to after-school activities, sports, faith-based, etc. So 85,000 were okay. But let me tell you why this is important to this committee. We have turned to FEMA, which goes to the emergency preparedness grants and to the continuity of government. And I just want to say to the committee, first of all, Baltimore's calm. We're not a city that lacks leadership or lacks commitment or lacks compassion. So we'll get through this. But yesterday I was at the Baltimore Emergency Management. This was funded significantly through your office, as was Governor Hogan's Maryland Emergency Management, which was also activated. To my colleagues, what this does at a time like this ensures the continuity of government and the continuity of services. So not only do our schools need to be open, but people who need kidney dialysis need to be able to get there and know where to go and how to do it. I saw this operation full scale, full bore, moving forward. Today, I received a call from the CVS drugstore corporation that had been burned out, and I thought, are they calling me to tell me they're pulling out? No, they called me on how they could deliver prescription drugs to needy people in neighborhoods that have been disrupted. And because I could connect them to Baltimore Emergency Services connected to the appropriate police district commanders to protect the drugstores that were open, as of 2 o'clock today, we had a whole method, thanks to the interoperability of their medical and pharmaceutical records and working with BEMA, backed up by MEMA, we can meet the needs of the senior citizen that needs insulin or the child that needs antibiotics. So this is really what we pay for. And yes, it is, yes, guarding our borders, yes, guarding our internet, all the excellent things that you do every day. And of course, we can't have a Port of Baltimore without the Coast Guard. But I just wanted to share that because we don't always think about the bread and butter issues and what must go on. So, of course, I salute the men and women in Baltimore that are responding and all those who have come to our assistance. But this is the kind of stuff we pay for. And thanks to the fact that they train, that it's in place and they're available, we can meet the needs of our citizens. So I just wanted to say that. Shifting gears, though, I would like to raise the issue about something that goes very important to jobs in my state, which is the famous H2-B visa programs. And first of all, Mr. Secretary, I'm going to thank you for issuing you and Secretary Perez issuing the regulations you said you would. By and large, I like them. Some I have some flashing lights. But I have a real problem, and so does my business community, where they have not been able to, because of the H2B cap, be able to get the visas they need for this year. Are you aware of that problem?
Yes, I am.
And I have a suggestion on how to meet that problem without legislative change. I'm asking whether you would do an audit on the number of non-immigrant H2B visas that have been requested, and that also to know where they're not being used and therefore the ability to be used by others who could use them. What I mean is, you know, in my seafood industry, a company might ask for 100 visas, and they might have been doing this for 10 years. crabs are down, they only need 50, you would have 50 to use. Well, this year, we need all 100. So can you offer your suggestions on how to deal with this H2B? Because I certainly know we coastal senators are facing real problems. The landscape industry is facing real problems. And quite frankly, they create American jobs. In the landscape industry, there's 13 people who have Mexican heritage who've come every year for 10 years. They're ready to go to work, and they keep this whole landscape business with American jobs going. 13 helps create another 40. The seafood industry helps the crab pickers keep a lot of our seafood industry going.
Well,
And
as you
serve
know,
the restaurants.
as you know, Senator, the cap is set by law. If there is a way legally to do as you suggest, I'd like to work with your staff on that. Fortunately, we have a way forward for next year. We got the new reg out. It's a joint reg issued by DHS and Labor for the future that satisfies the litigation. And you're correct, we reached the cap when we issued H2B visas during that window period of time. If there's a way to look at it, to do some kind of audit, I'd be very interested in hearing ideas on that, and happy to have my folks engage with yours on that.
Well, thank you. Mr. Chairman, Senator Sheen, you've been very generous. I have other questions related to cybersecurity and unaccompanied children. Again, thank you for your steadfast work on that. And I'll give you a letter on H2B. I wouldn't be me without having some suggestions to give you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.